Hello, light bees. I just wanted to hop on and talk to you guys about tarot and astrology and metaphysical. I want to hop on and share with you guys what it is that I do, why it is that I do it, and how it can help you. First, I want to tell you guys a little bit about how I got here in the first place. All right. Many people don't know this story, and I would love to share it with you all. It started about two and a half years ago. I was going through a really rough time in my life, okay? And I felt like I had no direction and I had no idea where to get it from, okay? I knew what I didn't want, but I wasn't clear on what I wanted. So with that said, as soon as I started to align, once things really started to be made clear, I started working at a wellness bar. And after working at that wellness bar, everything just started to click for me. Everything started to make sense. I then knew that I had to follow my dreams. I knew it because I loved my job so much. And I knew that this was something that I just had to keep doing. Whatever it was that I was going to do for the rest of my life, I had to love it. Like I absolutely had to be able to give it my all. So with that said, I was like, photography. Oh my gosh, photography. I love photography with every bone in my body. And all of my friends, anybody who has ever met me can tell you that whether it's a selfie or coming up with a creative idea for somebody else, I am all for it. Okay, so I knew that that's where I wanted to start my business. And as that energy started to brew, Spirit was like, oh, she's waking up. Spirit started to get excited. And at this time I was in a relationship. And I'm an Aquarius. I was dating a Leo. And the energy was so, like, we were toxically attached to one another. I can't lie. Like, it was very toxic energy. And my family would even say, they're like, listen, if y'all were to break up, it's gonna be messy, just so you know. Fast forward 3 years, and guess what happens? So my life's transitioning. I'm now the general manager at this wellness bar. So I'm really moving up in my career and what it is that I like to do. At the time, I was like, I think I could do this for the rest of my life. But photography still rung in the back of my ear, right? And I know you guys are still like, okay, Cam, what does any of this have to do with astrology and tarot? I'm getting there, I promise. So as I'm working at the wellness bar, I'm loving everything that I'm doing. I'm helping clients and patients from the hospital down the road and building a team, and my boss is incredible at the time. Things just really started to look up, right? So then my career is, but my home life, my personal life, my love life is falling apart. Okay, so at the time, my boyfriend he decided that he wanted to stop working for a month. He stopped working due to school being out. That's a whole nother story, whatever, it's not important. So the promise was always that we would talk to each other when we were unhappy. Like, hey, listen, if you're not happy or I'm not happy, we need to be able to sit down as adults and talk about it and fix it and compromise, whatever we need to do. So over the course of 3 years, of course, we've had our issues. Everybody has. There were a million red flags, and I just was choosing not to see them, if I can be honest. And with that said, as my love life started to fall apart, that was like a major key for me. I identified so much with that relationship that I had no idea what was going to come of me if I didn't have it. So time passes. He goes to his best friend's wedding. I can't go because if I go, we're going to be homeless. So I'm working 3 jobs while he doesn't have a single one. And I'm like, hey, listen, while he's at the wedding, I'm like, when you get home, we need to talk. I'm really not happy. This is just a lot for me. Because when I would get home, there just wasn't any balance. Bottom line, okay? So I was like, listen, I just can't. I'm not happy. And that was like a major trigger And things started going downhill from there. And he's like, well, I don't know if I want to be with you. And we started fighting. And it was, oh my God, it was a whole thing. Mind you, he's not even back at the house yet. He's still out of town. So I'm freaking out. So I call one of my best friends at the time, and she was also a coworker. And she was like, hey, listen, come over. We'll talk about it. We'll talk it out. I'll be here for you. I'm like, oops, I can use that. I can really use that. So I get into it, and I get in my car, I go over there, and she sits me down. And as a matter of fact, the tarot deck looked just like this. It looked just like these cards. And she sat me down, and we were pulling tarot cards on the situation. Everything about those tarot cards was telling me that the situation was over. There was absolutely nothing I could do to save it. There was nothing I could do to fix it. There was nothing I could do to prevent what was happening from happening. Okay? And I knew that the most significant card to me throughout all of that was the Tower card. The Tower card came out every single time I did a reading for at least the entire month of November and December. There was nothing I could do. Everything lined up and said that this had to happen. There was nothing around it. And the Capricorn in me, I'm an Aquarius, but the Capricorn placements in me were like, yo, nope, there's got to be something I can do. Little old me trying to take over the universe. Well, no, no. So things got so dramatic and just very theatrical. So it gets to a point where you're like, okay, well, I can't beat them, join them. Can't beat them, join them. So I'm really getting into astrology, and I'm learning all these things about myself. I'm learning my weaknesses, I'm learning my strengths, I'm learning what I'm great at, I'm learning what I'm not so great at. I'm learning, what's gonna nurture me and what's slowing me down. I'm really learning all this stuff about myself and finding this love. Like, okay, I am a walking contradiction. I am. This is true. However, I am this way so that I can conquer balance, so that ultimately I know how to man both sides of that. I can handle the rebellious, free-spirited side, but I can also handle the structure and the guided line side. And the balance was the important part of that. So tarot really helped me get into my self-discovery. And working with tarot and astrology, I was like, there is nothing I cannot do. So as this journey started, I got my first deck of cards. Actually, let me grab them to you guys, because this was my first tarot deck. And wow, you guys, when I say that, and I actually have never done a reading for anybody else with this tarot deck. This has only ever been a tarot deck reading, a tarot deck for myself, for my readings. So let me see. I've got the original box and everything. And they're so beat up, you guys. It's crazy. So this was my very first tarot deck. Oh my God. This is absolutely insane. But yeah. So when I say that it became my best friend. Like anytime anything was wrong, anytime, I was just curious as to what was going on. Like, because I spend so much time in my head, it's so easy to overthink things. And I'm just like, okay, Spirit, what's really going on? How is this relative to my life right now? What's going on? And this was my way of getting a direct answer. This was my way of getting, hey, this is what's blocking you. Nothing's really wrong. However, you've convinced yourself that you're not who I brought you here to be. And that's exactly what it was. And it gave me the power to stand back up and get it together. Because for so long, I had allowed everybody else around me to take my power from me. People were telling me what I should do with my life, and I had no say-so. Not because I didn't have a say-so, but because I wasn't using my voice. Still to this day, I struggle with using my voice, because I will sit here and I'll be like, you know what? I'd rather show it than tell them anything. I've always been I can prove it to you better than I can tell you. I can show you better than I can tell you. So for me, it's like, but I've got to stand in my truth. It's really important for us all to stand in our truth respectfully. Just like you have a truth, I've got a truth, we've all got a truth. But my truth may not be relative to yours. That doesn't make it not your truth. And I'm not speaking on fact and fiction here. I'm speaking on the way we live our lives and the purpose. My purpose isn't your purpose. We may not share the same purpose. We may have, details in common. Our paths may align, but we are not on this planet to do the exact same thing, to learn the exact same things. So with that said, tarot cards gave me the opportunity to figure out where I played a part in all of this. Because when you get into astrology and you get into tarot cards, it can also make you feel small. It can make you feel like, well, so do I not have any control at all? Or what? You do. You definitely have free will. However, when you move in unison with the universe, you can't go wrong. You can't. You simply cannot. You can't. Okay? And let me tell you why you can't. Because it does not matter what path you take. It doesn't matter. Okay? It doesn't matter how you choose to get to your final destination. As long as you were listening to your highest self and doing things that support you, there is no way things are not going to work out for you. As long as you keep trying, you keep at it, there is absolutely no way it's not going to work out for you. Consistency, persistence, and honestly, tarot cards are a tool of divination. It's not about predicting people's future for me. Can I do it? Yes. Am I psychic? Yes. However, at the end of the day, a lot of times my clients come to me because they need somebody to talk to and they need to feel like they are not crazy. Okay? Because when you're on this spiritual journey, things will happen and you have no idea what they're saying to you. My clients, my people, my community, it's important that you guys take the time to center yourselves. And that's why I talk so much about self-love, because when we get on a call or I send you an email, that's probably the number one thing I'm going to acknowledge. Okay? For number one, I'm going to tell you how important it is for you to get back to you. Whatever your outlying factors are, of course we're going to sit there and we're going to talk about it. And if there are blessings in store, I will make sure you are excited for them. However, at the end of the day, Cam is going to keep you accountable, because ultimately that is how you take your power back. So tarot, astrology, crystals, all of that has really helped me get my life back. It has empowered me to stand back up on my 2 feet, because I know who I am. So nobody outside of me can tell me who I am. And when it comes to astrology and my tarot cards, if I can move with knowledge, with insight, then my moves are strategic. My moves are planned, So granted, the universe has its own master plan, but when the universe lets you in on the plan, your moves become graceful. And it becomes a lot easier. You don't feel as frustrated with yourself. You don't get as lost as quickly. You don't get as grumpy, as cranky. You don't suffer as many illnesses. You enjoy life a lot more. And I'm not saying bad days don't come. That's not what I'm saying. Because, all of us light workers. There is not a light worker I've ever met in the community that has not had a rough day. Because even as healers, the ascension journey is a rocky road. And every time we level up, we're learning something new. And it's important to get back to the collective, us all. And, I can run on a whole tangent with this, but I just wanted to get on and express to you guys how important it is for you to understand that what you may have thought tarot was, it isn't. Okay, it's not that demonic, somebody's cursing your future. I've heard voodoo, I've heard witchcraft, I've heard so many different things. Like it just makes me smile because I'm glad that people are curious, but it disappoints me because people aren't educating themselves at all. And truthfully, I've never been afraid of tarot cards. Like, it's never been, I didn't hesitate the first time. I was like, yes, please, I need answers, please. Yes, thank you. Give me what I came here for. Thank you. I had ultimate faith. And a lot of times that's what comes of this. I've definitely had conversations with non-believers that left my table believing. Because there are things that Spirit gives me to help you so that you do believe. Because 90% of the power comes from your faith. What you focus on, you give power to. A wise woman told me that. And it's something I've really used to guide the lines of my life. But believe it or not, here is my testimony. Tarot cards opened the door. Now, photography helped, but tarot cards opened the door for the strength, the knowledge, as well as the power to my most highest self and the strongest, highest power I've ever known. Okay, and now I'm 23 and I live on my own. I've gotten my own apartment. I work completely for myself. I work for myself and I run my own business. And I don't have to answer to anybody. I can wake up and I can create. I can wake up and I can not move if I want to. I've gotten to take my life back, my power back. And when I have these sessions with people, I just want to give you your power back. Because to me, that is the most important thing. Having went through everything I've gone through, not knowing that I was more capable, I wish that I had a me then. And I just want to be that for somebody else. So when my clients come to me and they tell me, Cam, you were right, or Cam, I needed that, that's exactly what I needed. That's why I keep doing this. That's why I do it. And I feel like that is one of my biggest purposes on this planet, to create and to heal. And I promise you, a lot of the things that I've done thus far that have led me here, nobody else has understood. So even if people don't understand you right now, but you feel it, the deepest calling, the deepest urge inside of you to keep going and keep going. Don't let people talk you out of your blessings. Don't let people talk you out of what you deserve. Okay? So from the bottom of my heart, getting all emotional on here. From the bottom of my heart, I really, really do hope that this gave you some insight, because I've had quite a few people come to me like, Cam, like, what is this? Like, what is this? It's a scam. Like, Cam, what are you doing? Well, I can't speak for everybody out there. I can speak for myself and my readers. You know, I won't, but I can. You know, I'm only going to speak for myself in this instance, and to say that this is a place of divine love, and that is all I have to offer. And in exchange, you know, I appreciate all the energy exchanges that come with that, because I didn't start off doing tarot for money. When I first started reading tarot cards in Gypsy World Savannah, shout out and thank you guys so much. I'm feeling all emotional now. Spirit, stop this. But since the beginning, when I first got that gig, I was doing tarot readings donation based, and sometimes I didn't get paid at all. But every single time I got done with my 2 to 4, all of my sessions, every time I was finished, I felt like this. I felt so elated. I felt so proud of the service and the work that I had done. Be it everybody that sat down that day believed me, or be it I had a few skeptical ones. The skeptical ones are always my favorite. Always. Because it feels the greatest to show them, hey, listen, you're not believing in this. It's partially not believing in yourself. And I know that sounds kind of cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. But listen, all of this is about you and your reality. What do you need to hear right now? What do you need right now? Because when you come to me, you're going to get exactly what you need. It may not always be what you want. Let me be honest with you and say that. But it'll always be what you need. I can't tell you how many people I've had cry. I've had some people get angry. I mean, in the best way, not attacking me, but just emotionally releasing. Okay, a part of me intuitively feels like my ancestors used cards. You know, there are so many different divination tools, you guys. It doesn't just stop at tarot cards. There are so many different things. As you see, I've got an oracle deck here, and the oracle deck is completely different than a tarot card. And although they are similar, they're two different things. Like this oracle deck here, I'll pull a card for you guys just so you can see it. Oracle decks give a bit of a clearer message, you know. See? Karmic clearing. And then I've got a book that's going to give me a really long description of what. Okay? So these things come with time and with grace. So I just wanted to really give you guys some insight, and I hope that I gave you guys some clarity as well. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have not already, please subscribe, like, share, and comment. Thank you so much for being here. And until next time, bye.